All right. So I'm going live right now, and I'm hoping the audio is good. Somebody that comes in, maybe they can let me know. I know a lot of people are working today, but I do these things. I'm going to do these things in the day, and then later on, it'll be up on my site and people can watch it. I'm trying to keep them, 30 minutes or so, something like that. And, today we're going to talk about Bigfoot, and we're going to talk about aliens and UFOs and portals and things like that. So we're just going to talk about a few things. We got somebody's here. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But say hi when you come in so I can holler at you. We got the fire going. We had some snow last night. And so I've been out shoveling. Didn't have a heart attack. Thank the Lord. So that's good. And there's Dave. And thanks for coming in, Dave. Locks Creek Dave. He's one of our members, and it's good to see him. And there's Courtney. She comes back. Does it still sound good, Courtney? I did a little test earlier. It was supposed to be private. I was making sure my camera and my sound was okay. And there's Matt Wilson. Well, thanks for coming in, Matt. Good to see you. And Courtney says everything looks and sounds great. That's awesome. So thank you on that. Yep, we did have snow in Roanoke. We had they said 3.4 inches in where I live, but it was pretty close to 4. And so I was out shoveling. That was my workout for today. Yesterday I lifted weights, and today I got into the gym and lifted. I've been doing this workout. It's called 300, where I'll do. I know y'all didn't tune in to this video to talk about my workout, but what I do is I'll do 5 sets of 20 reps. So it's all dumbbells. And once you pick the dumbbells up, you cannot set them down. So I do bench press, and then I do shoulder presses. Then I'll do back rows. I'm still holding on to the dumbbells. I'm lifting the back rows. I'll do 20 of those. And then I'll do 20 curls, hammer curls. And then I do 20, lay back down on the bench and do triceps extensions. So I'll do that 20 for each. So that's 5, that's 100. And I have to do this 3 times. So that's why it's called 300. So it's 5 exercises. I do 20, 1 round for each of the 5. That's 100. And then I'll do another one. I'll do 5. And that gets me 200. I do 5 on the second round, 200. And then the last round, I do, again, 5 sets with 20 reps each. So that's 300. So that's what I do. But today I'm tired, but I did shovel snow. And BB said they have 5 inches. Wow. Outside of Nashville, Tennessee. So that's cool. Matt says, you're not far from me. I'm down in Raleigh. That's right. I used to live in Raleigh, actually. And I think from, let's see, what grade? From, I think 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, we lived in Raleigh. And so that was a good time, Raleigh, North Carolina. And that's the first time I played soccer in my life. Of course, I was playing basketball and stuff like that. It's funny, I ended up being a pretty good basketball player, but I remember, it is Raleigh does have good weather, but I remember getting some pretty big snows back in the day at times. That doesn't happen too much. And yeah, soccer was big. Actually, my dad was working on his doctorate at North Carolina State, and my coach was Ozzy. And North Carolina State soccer gives the Ozzy Award every year to the soccer player that's got the most character, helps out the community, does that kind of stuff. But Ozzy was my soccer coach. Well, one day we were after school and we were waiting on Ozzy to show up, and he had his buddy, and I can't remember his name. And we've been waiting there 40 minutes or longer. Principal came out and said, "Hey, where's your coach?" And we're like, "We don't know," but we're all just hanging out, waiting on him. And then his friend came up. He come running across the field, and when he got to us, I mean, he was in tears. And Ozzy was coming to practice, and some guy ran a red light and hit him and killed him on the way to our practice. So I mean, that was just I'm like in the 6th grade or 7th, and just sitting there thinking, what that doesn't make sense. So anyway, that was that was the last year I played soccer. Of course, I was big into basketball. I was going to tell you when I hadn't played Little League or anything like that, but I would play basketball all the time. And so one of my friends said, "Hey, you need to come to our team." So coach let me come in, and so I went to a few practices, come on the game. He would never put me in, and we were losing all the time. They lost every game. So finally, it's like the last game. Of course, I knew I came in like midway through the season, so I'm just sitting there. And the last game, he puts me in the game. He said, "All right, you're going to play some of this game." So we go in, and we're losing in the second half. And so I was like, "Hey, I get to play." So, I mean, I ended up scoring, I don't know, 12, 16 points in the second half. And we won the game, only game we won all year. And the coach, after the game, the coach comes up to me and says, "Well, why didn't you tell me you were this good?" I'm like, "Well," I mean, I'm like 6th, 7th grade. I mean, I don't know. What am I supposed to do? "Hey, coach, put me in." So, but because I was back in the day, nobody did that. I just sat there and was hoping one day he'd put me in the game. So that was a crazy story. But that's not why we're here to talk about soccer. But there's Tim Prater. So good to see you come in. 6 inches of snow here in Hurley, Virginia. Wow. Yeah. Hurley gets some snow. And yeah, Matt, that was an awful story about my soccer coach. And y'all can look him up. His name was Ozzy. I think they give the Ozzy Award. I can't remember his last name. You have to look it up. Yes, basketball was a religion there. No baseball, just I played a little bit of baseball in high school. I was okay. I wasn't that great of a player. I did make the all area team in baseball. But there's PJ. Thanks for coming in. So today, guys, sorry that took so long. You get me talking about one thing, I'll talk all day. So anyway, the first thing we're going to talk about is a little bit about Bigfoot. And I wasn't going to plan on making the Bigfoot stuff the lead of my video, but as I was doing some research for this, I discovered that Scott Carpenter had passed away. And Scott, let me show you a picture of Scott Carpenter. So let me show you my screen. Um, all right, so this is Scott Carpenter. This is him a few years ago, and this was him, not too long ago, making videos. He has a YouTube channel called Scott Carpenter, but in August he passed away. Now I've got his book. I watched all of his videos just about. I mean, he would put up stuff about Bigfoot, stuff that would absolutely blow your mind. This guy, I mean, he wasn't the most vibrant personality, but you could tell he was a genuine soul. He was a Christian, had great faith in God. And I reached out to his son when I found this out, and it really broke me up, and it teared me up. And I have not met him, but I felt like I knew him from watching all the videos. And so, that kind of, and Matt says, I read a lot about Bigfoot and aliens back in middle school and high school. Always freaked me out in a good way. Yep. So anyway, Scott wrote this book, Truth Denied, the Sasquatch DNA Study by Scott Carpenter. Now, and I've talked about this on some older videos, but I really have never really brought you something. But in honor of Scott, who I just found out passed away in August. But and one of the reasons I'm like, man, I hadn't seen anything from Scott lately. Let me go check, because sometimes YouTube will, like, people that you watch, sometimes they won't show up again. And so I just went to his channel. I'm like, what the heck? He hadn't had anything in 5 months. And then I started looking into it, and I found out that he had passed away. He had a stroke, I guess a brain aneurysm, and he passed. I mean, just suddenly. So anyway, Scott and his team, now he lived in Maryville, Tennessee, but if you say Maryville around here, as Dave and BB will say to you, if you go to Tennessee and say, where's Maryville? Everybody's going to go like, what? Mary, what? Because in Tennessee, you say it's Maryville. So he lived in Maryville, Tennessee. And there's Jer. Yeah, exactly. Maryville. That's exactly right, Matt. So thanks for coming in, Jer. So anyway, and BB saying, yep, that's right. So I wanted to tell you that they had, let me read this little synopsis from Scott Carpenter in this book. And this book is very scientific, a very it's like a research paper that you would submit like to a scholarly, and that's one of the reasons the way they did this. So, but anyway, Scott said there were 111 samples of blood, tissue, hair, and other types of specimens were studied, characterized, and hypothesized to be obtained from elusive hominins in North America, commonly referred to as Sasquatch. DNA was extracted and purified from a subset of these samples that survived rigorous screening for wildlife species identification. So the mitochondrial DNA, and I hate to read, but I don't even know how to put this in my own word. Mitochondrial DNA sequencing and specific genetic Loki sequencing, forensic short tandem repeat testing, whole genome single nucleotide polymorphism, bead array analysis, and next generation whole genome sequencing were conducted on a purported Sasquatch DNA samples gathered from various locations in North Carolina. So they got these. Scott was huge. He got a bunch of samples. Everybody's already saying, well, there is no DNA of Sasquatch. But yes, there is. If you read this book, you'll see there is. And some of it was hair, some of it was blood, all kind of stuff. So here's one. And this is one thing. Well, let me finish reading this first. So they were from Tennessee, from California, from Texas, Oklahoma, all over the place. The mtDNA whole genome haplotypes obtained were uniformly consistent with modern humans. Of the 20 whole and 10 partial mitochondrial genome sequence, 16 diverse haplotypes were found, suggesting that these hominins did not originate in a single geographic location. Like I said, they came from all over the place. And in summary, the data shows that the Sasquatch has human mitochondrial DNA. I can't read, but possesses nuclear DNA that is a structural mosaic consisting of human and novel non-human DNA. So that's why they call it a human hybrid of no known species. Now this is pretty cool. Jared says he needs a hot dog with slaw for lunch. Now, look at these pictures. Now, the one on the top, this right here, is human, like we would have. That's our hair. This is Sasquatch hair. Now, I'm showing you that because a lot of people, I mean, look, doesn't that almost look like a hologram thing? There are people that say that these things come in and out of focus. It's kind of like if you ever saw that movie, The Predator, you know, he's in the trees. They know something's there, but they can't really see. They might see some movement, and then they think they see it, and then they don't. So, but doesn't that hair look like that? Like it's different from human hair and Sasquatch hair. That is pretty crazy looking. Now, Scott Carpenter, you know, he was saying, and I know I'm losing some people here because you may not be interested in Bigfoot, but hopefully some people will come back in and they'll watch and things like that. Matt says he speaks Southern. I don't know what I speak. West Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina. And but so Scott Carpenter, he and David Paulides, if you know David Paulides, and I watched a video about David Paulides talking about Scott Carpenter's death. They were really good friends. David Paulides, who did all the Missing 411 books and movies, he's got his own YouTube channel. And I would encourage you to go watch his tribute to Scott Carpenter. They were good friends. David Paulides had spent a week in the woods with him about 3 weeks prior to his death. And David Paulides was in tears on this video. He did it the day after he found out that Scott had passed. Now and Scott, who's really, really smart, he said, look, we know that trail cams are not going to pick these things up. So we've got to think out of the box of non-technological things. Think of ways that this Bigfoot is not going to be expecting us. Like a lot of people think that they can sense the infrared or whatever. Okay, so just getting a picture is really tough. It's been done, but they're always shaky and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, and I'm gonna get off of Bigfoot in just a minute, but just want to share this last little bit to you. So Scott said, look, what we got to do is we got to put some tape where we think the Bigfoot are, and we can put some hair sample. We can get some hair samples off of where we think they are. And that's what they did. And that's how they got all these hair samples. But he also was able to get some pictures. These are pretty crazy pictures right here. This was one. This was a face that he captured, and this was the what it looks like. And then you blow it up, it looks like that. It's sitting there between two trees. And then here's another sample where they got hair. These are places that they got hair samples from. And he had a camera up too, but there's two of them. And that's the tree in between the trees right there. I thought that was crazy. So check out Scott Carpenter's book. And I just had to share that with you because I mean, he's such a great guy. And if you read about him or watch his son, go to TP. I think it's T Carpenter. T Carp is his son's channel. And Leonard Aker says, "Set your Bigfoot free, brother." Okay. And so now I wanted to talk to you guys about just by thumbs up or something. Have you seen on the news about the Miami Mall incident where they said there was like, kids shooting off fireworks and they thought there were guns, but they were fighting and all kind of stuff. And there was like 100 cars responded. Have y'all seen that video? The Jared hadn't heard about that. Well, I'm going to show you. Now, this happened at the Bayside Mall in Miami, which I think is where it's kind of like an outside thing. Now, what you have to know about this place, let me first show you the police response, and then we're going to talk about it. So let me present my screen again. All right, so here is the response to some teens.
Bueno, para que sean testigos de cuando se produce una llamada a todas las unidades. Y las que vienen en camino.
Now, does that look like the police response to some teens fighting in the mall? I will also share with you that during this time, 30% of the power in Miami went out. 30%. Think about that. The people that were coming out, they were saying they saw aliens or big creatures. They didn't know what it was. Now, there's been plenty of guys that were lying too. They'll come out and say, "Oh, I was there," and blah 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 blah. And then one guy even came back and said, "Nah, I really wasn't there." But other people that were there saw it. Now, one of the people that that was there did a video, and I'm just gonna play just a little bit of this so that you can see what he had to say. And this guy's very believable. And I'm getting this from the channel called Lainey and Ben. So let me present to you what this guy's saying, and then we'll talk about it. Let's see if this is the right one. Yeah. All right, let's listen to what he has to say. And that's Ben, obviously, from Lainey and Ben. Go check his channel. You guys got some good stuff.
Or collating the witness statements and kind of reposting them to their own TikTok page. So let's take a look at this one too.
What's up, y'all? I'm here to set the record straight, man. Like, I literally have been getting interrogated by the Miami Police Department for days, my dude. Look at me. It is really aliens. It's really aliens. And I cannot believe that the Miami Police Department is really going to try to make it seem like they had all those police cars and stuff out there over some kids fighting, y'all. We talking about 3 and 4 blocks. We get in, they asked us.
Let me know. Can y'all hear this video? Let me know, because sometimes this will screw. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear him talking. Just let me know if you can hear the video. All right, cool. I'm gonna go back to it. Don't want to.
First, they asked us what we saw. It was me, 2 of my cousins, and 1 of my homegirls. All 3 of us being basically locked the fuck up. I ain't trying to get in trouble or nothing like that, but I'm just telling y'all, man. This shit is so real, man. Like, everybody saw it. There will be more reports coming out. There will be more reports coming out on this, man. But I just want to go on record and speak my truth. You know, they asked us not to speak about it. Any blog site, any news site, anybody who wants to talk to me, please get in my DM, man. Because that's the only way I would tell my whole truth. But I just want to let y'all know, man. Aliens are real. It was 3 of them. And we couldn't believe it.
Now, yeah, it says that I was trying to get the volume up. I wasn't able to. So sorry about that. But basically, you know, he's saying that. Hang on. And what I would do is go to that channel and watch these videos on Lainey and Ben, and you can see. I mean, this stuff is pretty crazy. I mean, just thinking about it, first thing that came to my mind was Roswell, New Mexico. So in Roswell, New Mexico, when that saucer crashed, the government immediately went out and started creating a story. The people that were witnesses, they told them not to talk. They even told a young girl that they would take her out in the desert if she said this, anything about it. And they ruined some people's lives, ruined some reputations, but for some reason, they did not want people to know or think that there were aliens out there or that a saucer that had crashed. And what does I mean, you look at the police response to this, and you got all these people that are saying there were aliens. There's even, go look at Lainey and Ben's site. You can see that there were some creatures. That it's not a real good picture, but like he goes on to say, they were like, one of the best things to watch is another, let's see, another video. This one, and no, that's the one, might have been the one we watched, but he interviews this guy on one of the videos. So go to Lainey and Ben, you can check all this stuff out. I just think it's interesting, and I think it's crazy how like there was after this went on for a couple of days, then one of the police officers came back on and said, no, there was just kids with firecrackers and that's it, and there was no aliens and all that kind of stuff. And okay, so we're just supposed to drop it and go on, where you got all these other people that are saying that what they saw. And that was a crazy police response. That, with the fact that 30% of the city lost power. And Tim said he couldn't hear it. But you could see all the police response. Sorry that y'all couldn't hear that. Apologize for that. But I would just go to Lainey and Ben. Go check out those videos. Thanks, Penny. She says she loves these facts. So appreciate that. And, it's just like, in Roswell, if you watch, I made a video on Roswell. I would watch that video, watch about Roswell, and then come out and watch about this Miami incident. And it's like really, really similar what's going on. They're trying to squash the narrative. It does sound like a cover up, but I don't understand why. I mean, why shouldn't people know what's out there? And if or on the other hand, then all these people that are coming out, they're all just liars, every single one of them. They're just trying to get TikTok views, which could be it. I don't know. But one of the reasons I was showing you the Scott Carpenter thing, now I don't think there were Bigfoot in that mall, but there's a lot of people that think Bigfoot is interdimensional, like they go through portals. That's why you can't find them, like they'll go through a portal or something like that. I don't know. I've mentioned this before. I don't know if I'm there with that. But what I will say is that some of the people in the mall, at the Miami Mall, were saying this thing was like coming in and out of, like you could see it and then you couldn't see it, and then it was dark and then you couldn't see it. Like it was just really crazy, like something they had never seen before. People running out there like crazy. Of course, if there's shootings going on, and I get firecrackers can make people run like crazy because they sound like bullets going off, a lot of them, if that's was actually what was happening. The other thing that's weird was that right before the incident at the Bayside Mall in Miami, they saw what people call like a jellyfish UFO. And there's footage on that on Lainey and Ben too. Or you can Google YouTube, or you can just search YouTube and find the jellyfish. And this thing is like, looks like it's got two things. It's like slowly gliding across the sky. That was there too. They got video footage of that. Can't really tell what it is. So it's crazy. And my friend Ann, who I think I travel a lot. I think Ann travels more than me. I told her, Ann, start making YouTube videos because she goes everywhere. And Tim Prater says more and more ex-government officials are coming out now and saying there is certainly UFO night. Yeah, that exactly. And so that's good. Thanks for the fireside chat. I have to go now. Cheers, everyone. Be safe out there. Yep, be safe. Thanks for coming in, PJ. And PJ, I'll have to call you a couple of days because I got something I want to do. I'm going to come up towards your way here pretty soon, and we're going to do something. All right? So I'll be in touch. And so PJ's a good one. Good friend. And Ann used to work with me years ago. And but anyway, I just, with all this, and the reason I say it, talking about the thing coming in and out of focus and all that, it kind of reminded me of people when they see Bigfoot, like this hologram kind of thing. And if you look at the hair sample that I showed you in this book right here, I mean, that's not human hair, folks. That's crazy. And then other people that say that they've actually seen the hair, so it doesn't even look like real hair. Like, it's really different. So anyway, I appreciate y'all coming in. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them right now. But I just wanted to talk about Scott Carpenter and what a great man that he was, really smart man. And he was part of this big project to bring forth Sasquatch DNA, which they did. But the media, just like in Roswell, just like in Miami Bayside Mall, the media squashed it. The lady that actually did the DNA, Melba Ketchum, she did some of them, and then most of them were sent to universities and other labs and they didn't tell them what they were sending. They just wanted to know the things, and that's what they sent back. So everybody tried to act like, oh, y'all contaminated these things and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's what the media does. If they don't like the narrative, they destroy the person that's putting it out there. And they try to destroy Melba Ketchum, who is a forensic expert, did a lot of criminal cases. She wouldn't lie about anything. It's just not her character. And she took a lot of pride in what she did. Yep. That's kind of like Ann says that they cloak, and that's what I think so too. And she goes, I've heard him scream. Yep, that's crazy. And Jared says he loves the fireside chats. All we need now is one of them big tomahawk ribeyes Jared cooks on his grill, and I'll be just happy. And there's Terry Meyer. Thanks for coming in, Terry. If you're just now getting here, you want to go back and watch the video because it's good. And thank you, BB. She enjoyed the story. And so, anyway, yeah, we're going to hook up with Jared pretty soon in Gatlinburg, where Scott Carpenter, Maryville is close. It's in the Smokies. That's why he was always out there seeing the Sasquatch. Guys, go watch his videos. They'll blow your mind on some of the stuff. Now he's kind of dry, and it takes him a while to do stuff, but he's actually really good. So anyway, I'll have some more stories for y'all soon, unless anybody else has any questions, comments, anything about Bigfoot, about UFOs, about aliens. Go check out my videos on Roswell. Go to Lainey and Ben, and go to Scott Carpenter. Yeah, thank you, Penny. She said she got here late, but she'll definitely check out earlier part. I appreciate that. You can ignore all my earlier, like middle school basketball stuff and soccer. But the Ozzy story is pretty sad that I told earlier. So, any other questions? Wouldn't that be something? One time, what's coming up with your next videos? All right, so the next thing, I've got footage where I started filming on the Phantom Hitchhiker. I actually went over and I've got like 20 minutes of footage. Of course, I have to edit that down big time. I want to finish my video on the Phantom Hitchhikers. I want to do a couple Civil War battlefields soon. One of them, Appomattox, which is really cool. It's just been so cold, windy, rainy here in the last few weeks, like that I haven't been able to do much of anything. And then there's a couple really cool places that some haunted places I want to stay. I'm looking forward to doing this year. Some just cool places that I want to go visit, and some cool restaurants that I want to visit. So I've got a lot planned. I just got to get out and do it. And we'll be doing that pretty soon. Plus, I have been working out a lot and trying to lose weight because I had, I think when I started YouTube, I weighed 185. And then I weighed myself about a week ago, and I was up to 206. And a lot of that was because, stress eating over my brother passing away, and then Thanksgiving and all the holidays. I just would eat anything because I'm like stressed and sort of depressed. So I was just eating junk. So I've lost 3 pounds in a week. In 7 days, I lost 3 pounds. So I'm down to 203. That's why I haven't done any bourbon stuff, because you can't lose weight if you're drinking alcohol, period. You can't do it. So I have, you might, maybe let's just say I can't. So anyway, once I get down to about 190, I'll feel like myself more, and I'll be able to get out and do more stuff. So, yeah, we do need to do a review on the Peddler. Derek and Cindy we were trying to go there, but we're like, we don't want to dress up. But we ended up going to the Cherokee Grill, and which I love. That was great. We did a video on that. I'm pretty sure I did. Cherokee Grill is really good. And they even said the Cherokee Grill might be better than the Peddler. But I do need to do a review on that sometime. Bourbon workouts do not count. That's right, Tim. Yeah, it is hard to lose weight. And you know, and when I like to hike, my knees are bad anyway. So once I gain 5-10 pounds, man, I can feel it in my knees like right away. So I have not had any bread. Haven't had any sugar like candy. I used to eat candy bars like crazy. So that's 2 things I've cut out. So anyway, so any other questions, comments, suggestions? I like the thing. Say, hey, you need to do the Peddler. Yeah. And so this is going to be a good year with a lot of new stuff coming up. If there's not anything else, then I'm going to let you guys go. Appreciate you coming in. And so hit the thumbs up. Also, go back and watch the video or go back and leave a comment because that actually helps a lot. Thanks. It says Jared says, keep up the great work. I appreciate that. And he said, it's been a great fireside chat. Yep. I like to keep these kind of short so people can watch them back. And so thanks for coming in. I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry about the sound. That kind of bothers me. So, but anyway, stuff like that happens. Y'all take care.